What's going on, everybody? It's Eli here from TreeFall Studios. I got a shorter video for you guys today because I was traveling and I'm getting back late to record this video. Before we jump into the devlog, I have a couple quick announcements. I have two upcoming videos on business game development. I was going to have one out for you guys today, but since I said I was traveling, I did not get to film it in time, so I'm doing the devlog instead. So expect two upcoming videos on the business of game development. Be looking forward to that, and most importantly, 1-2 Exquisite Word Search is hitting the PlayStation Store on PS4 and PS5 tomorrow. So if you are a fan of classic word search puzzle games or a fan of TreeFall Studios, be sure to grab the game and leave us a review. It would help us out a ton. Alrighty guys, let's jump into the devlog and see what's changed since our last live stream. Alrighty guys, so we're here in the game now, and for those of you who haven't been following along with the live streams, you can see we have a giant snow level here for PitterPot Cursed Thicket. And there's a lot of things I've done on this level. Obviously, I've done a bunch of them on the live stream, and I've done a bunch of them off the live stream. So this devlog, I can give you a brief update really quickly and show you this level. So you can see we got this section here in the middle, we got a section off here to the right, and a area off here to the left. So since the last live stream, I have done some editing here. One of the things I want to note out right off here at the start is the idle animation. I finally fixed this. It has like a little glitch basically. You know, originally in the original game, he looked like he would just kind of glitch, and there was like a frame jump where like the animation actually wasn't playing, like it was off a frame or something, and his hands kind of jerked in the idle animation basically. So I fixed that, and I also slowed it down. So if you notice, like, see his head bobbling, he's just like going really slowly. And I think this looks much more natural, like a natural just bobblehead. He's just kind of like, he's kind of just like chilling, and then you can just like you can go really slow into a walk, or you can kind of go faster, you know, get into your run. And I think the animations overall are just so much smoother. His jump is fixed from earlier, and his idle is now fixed. So there is a lot of polish that's gone into this from the original PitterPot. So that's one thing to note that I did fix from the last live stream. And then I'll go over here and show you guys. I mentioned that I was not happy with the gondola system that we were working on in the live stream, and I've done a couple of things to clean these up, but I remodeled the ending set of gondolas over here, which I'll show you. But I'll try to show you on this one here. If you look, I animated the wheels now, so the wheels on all of the gondolas move. So you can see as this one was animating up, that's been done for a while, and you can ride them up and down, but the actual little wheel moving it down the rope was static in the live stream last week. And so this week I finally fixed those, and you know, I edited these animations just ever so slightly, especially on the gondolas back down here. So yeah, the wheels work, and they work for all of them. And you can see we got a big snow field here. Let's run through. Excuse me, snowballs. Let's try not to get hit. And yeah, you can see the wheel is spinning the correct direction here for this one. And so now we can look at this right here. This has totally been changed. So I showed you guys on the live stream. You can check it on our videos on our channel if you missed it. I was working on this dual gondola system here, which is totally working now. And I didn't like how I had basically, it's still a little messy. There's still kind of a lot going on, but you can turn the camera pretty good and pretty much see where you need to go when you land down here. I think there's a little bit more room to see. You had to jump around this post originally, or I guess it was that post, and I didn't like that, so I angled, like I built a stick off of the post and made the rope go down the stick and then go straight out to the next post, and it just looked weird. So I didn't really like that. So what I did was I extended this rope and made it go over this gondola that you ride down here, and the post holding this entire rope system up is a little bit farther back, and I didn't do that to that one because I didn't want to have like too much in the way, and then this, this ride that you're on would have hit that rope coming down. So I left it there, but I just straightened it up and I changed that model, and then I changed this one as well. So now you can see when you jump on here, the wheels are animating, and they both animate, and you can jump over here and then jump over here pretty easy, and then you can see they both snap back into place, and both those gondolas will just subtly float in the snow. And you can see we can jump back down. I also changed this up, so I made it to where you can actually reach the finish line now. You can jump down here, and then to reach the finish on this level you just have to jump over here and get back all the way up. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So those were some of the changes over there this week since Wednesday, and I'll show you the finishing touches over here. And you guys, if you keep in touch with these devlogs or the live streams, you're going to notice there's a lot of things changing as I decide that I like or don't like something. So this is for now where we've ended up with this half pipe area. So I finished texturing all the sides with the bricks, and I actually raised this section up a little bit so I could have this gondola come here and rest. And I actually cut out some of the brick wall here, see this, so the gondola can smoothly ride up. If you can see, we just perfectly dodge that as we swing and animate down, and when you swing and animate back up, it lands perfectly through that without like clipping into the actual level. Now I'm just not totally sold on this design, and then like I said in the live stream, I'm going to have the character here that you talk to, and then there's going to be a guy snowboarding here on the half pipe. It looks better than it did last week in the live stream. It's for sure cleaning up, and this will look a lot better once we dress this up, once we put some plants up here, some piles of snow, some fences, some seeds to collect and other things like that, and help ground it into the rest of the level like we have done on the other platforms. However, I'm not totally sold just yet on how this looks, and I might just completely do away with this level platform and build a new one. I also don't like how tall it has to be in order to have this gondola right here if it starts at this position, and it has to go all the way up. It looks very tall, and I'm not totally sold on it, because when you see the brick texture, like the brick texture looks really good right here when you're up close, and even when you have a couple stories right here and you're up close and the bricks are pretty big, they look like they're in proportion. And obviously when you're up close, you can see the curves on them, you can see the light reflecting on them, and you can see that they're a little 3D with the bump nap. But like when you look at this giant platform over here, you can see that brick tile, and it's basically on the same scale as those bricks. It's just a much bigger platform, and you're farther away so you can see it at a larger scale. If you come up here, these bricks look pretty good. It looks correct in the scale with the level, but when you see it from a distance, I'm just not totally sold. Guys, let me know in the comments below if you think this looks all right. I'm trying to make this the most perfect game humanly possible in the time that I have, and for some reason, this part of the level is not saying that to me. So that's probably going to change by next week's live stream or next week's devlog. Let me know in the comments below, do you think this platform looks all right once I dress it up with models and the rest of the level art? Or do you think it needs to be reworked a little bit to look as good as the rest of the level? All right, let's jump into the last change I've done this week. Alrighty guys, just wanted to show you the start of the environment art for the next world, and I'm working in the desert here. And this is just a brief little bit of stuff that I've done. I really think this looks pretty good. I basically just worked on the atmosphere and through a couple of the models here just so you guys could see what it's going to look like when we start working on the desert level. I think we're probably going to actually finish these desert levels since we have basically a lot of the models done that we're going to be using for the environment. I'm probably going to be doing that this Wednesday, so you guys who are following along can join me then, and we can do this. But just to look at some of the new stuff that I've done here, obviously I made some bottom fog here and some clouds that are just, going off in the distance, and some new really dense fog that just kind of makes it look like we're in a desert storm here. And to top it all off, I added this little bit of a dust particle system, and you can see that's actually like blowing in the wind. And so it kind of looks like, we're almost in a desert sandstorm type of situation. And, I've changed the lighting and the ambient lighting and stuff and got it this, this kind of deserty feel, and I think it looks really, really good. Let me know what you guys think. Before we go, I got to give a huge shout out to everybody who supports TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. I got to give a personal shout out to Mandy, Shark and Minnow, Space My Name, Thomas Stewart, Mr. Troy, Joe Nana, and Jamil DeBeer. Thank you guys for what you do for TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. Alrighty guys, I'll catch you in the next video.